higher for 1GH and our the latest update in the world. So we be like in a share the morning so the inye bintin on soon keep you updated and so ready in fear in tune and candy warrior the enchairman. Edra any young NTSA the suspended Chief Justice. Any case no too far every Ghana ECOWAS court. Someone kebi mano and the right is being infringed. And one semi braba fine. Na and I just say a sem kakra upon it. I just hear the anything. See no information about say I'm sure ECOWAS court no a bit too name similar to didn't here because they are saying all the court in Ghana no on exhausting way you be chimusing court or Ghana no it's not like so they are cohort and omunyina the abonnents and atugu and there are precedent to the Newz here the ebitino young couldn't put things in
the former Attorney General, the one who was the
Godfrey Dame.
No, the one who was the ambassador to Canada, the High Commissioner to Canada. Аяcќ was his lawyer, her lawyer, very fine lawyer. I believe he will give all the advice. Now, as you rightly stated, the local remedies have not been exhausted. We have precedents. Justice Derry and the rest went to ECOWAS court. They were thrown out. Now, she's in court on human rights issues. She said at the High Court. That has not been determined. And you went to the ECOWAS court. Now she's claiming, the Deputy Attorney General's writing, that the suspension effectively means she's been removed from office. Now, is she aware of something the rest of us are not aware of? I don't know. But the Constitution says that the President has that discretion to ask you to suspend the Chief Justice and reinstate the Chief Justice when the President feels it is okay for it to be done.
Let me just read that out to you.
Yeah.
Essentially, her ladyship argues that by her suspension, she has effectively been removed from her official capacity without a final determination, impairing her rights to function and serve in the position she was constitutionally appointed to.
Yes, so it is the same Constitution that allows the President the discretion to suspend the Chief Justice pending the whole process. So why are we getting to with this thing? I am of the view, so she's in effect saying that she has been constructively dismissed. It is not like
she's saying her suspension
looks like she's been
removes her.
Yes, so
it looks like
so that's constructive dismissal or removal. That has not happened. So far, the procedure has been very good. Everybody, look, with the fight that the suspended CJ is putting up, and with this latest one, I'm asking myself, is she aware of something out of what has happened so far at the proceedings that we don't know? If that is the situation, then she should better tell us. But to go to, I believe strongly, and without any shred of doubt, that ECOWAS court will throw this out. Now, there are so much, the whole of chapter 5 of our Constitution is on human rights. That has not been exhausted. The Chief Justice has been given the right to fair hearing. Anything she has challenged at the Supreme Court of Ghana has been dismissed. So what is she going to stand on at the ECOWAS Court of Justice to say, this is the reason why I'm here?
Do you agree with some of her concerns? For example, she wants to be allowed to bring in her family or people to support her during the hearings. She should be served by the committee with a petition and so on. These are things that she's asked for.
You see, unfortunately, she responded to the petition when she asked for it and the president gave her 10 days. So it's the same petition, if my memory serves me right. So for you to go back now and say, give me the petition.
She doesn't dispute the fact that the president gives her.
So she wants a different petition?
Just to be sure that the petition that the committee is using is the same one that the president has given to her.
You know, and I know that when she goes for the committee's hearing, they will read whatever it is. She has a copy. She can compare with what they give her. So that is neither here nor there. The Constitution says that under Article 146, all proceedings here shall be held in camera. It doesn't make room for your husband or your wife. It doesn't. The purpose is not to
protect.
What
does in camera mean? I thought it's supposed to be private, so away from the press and people who are not concerned.
Exactly.
Does it also include people who are just there to support you?
No. How do we know who is there to support? Somebody else will come again. If I go there, I also want to support her. Would I be allowed? If Solomon goes that he wants to support her, will he be allowed? And there are 20,000 people going that we want to support her. Would they all be allowed?
Okay.
Would that still be in camera? No, in camera. Look, that clause does not lend itself to any ambiguity. It's very clear, straightforward. There's no ambiguity about that. It says that let all proceedings under this be held in camera. She has the right to a counsel. The counsel accompanies her. If the husband were her counsel, I will understand that your husband is your counsel to accompany you. You see, the in-camera hearing is not for just the person. It is for the witnesses, the committee members, etc. And that position is not her personal position. She will move on one day. She will move on, either by resignation, by removal, by retirement, whichever way, she will move on. But we don't have to set a precedent for which somebody else will fall on. But the bigger picture is that, you see, when we had the Tufuo versus Attorney General, the Supreme Court somehow protected one of their own. We have the Iban case, the Supreme Court somehow protected one of their own. We had the Ιακcκ case, the Supreme Court somehow, that's what gave us to the Ajay case. Now, this time we have a 3-2, we have a 4-1, we have a 5-0. Then you took your colleagues on to the Supreme Court. Now let's be serious here. If she comes back, granted she will come back. If she comes back, how easy will it be to work with the people you have been fighting? And you see somewhere along the...
It's within her rights to have,
yes, it is.
Brought those
now,
actions.
The Bible says everything is allowed unto man, but the end is what justifies. You go to Supreme Court and they mention your name, that her ladyship, Justice Araba Saki Torkorno, by a clerk. And she turns to the judges and say that the applicant is here. The clerk that when you were in office, walking to your office, would have even been lying on the floor for you to walk on, now calls you. I mean, somewhere along the line, you must be saying that it's good to be brave, but on this occasion, I want to be a coward to preserve your dignity. That I would do. If I were a counsel, I would advise that certain parts of the fight are needless. Let's go for the real fight and leave the other periphery. But what we are seeing today doesn't look like that. Now, listen to what your viewers will be writing on this issue. When we begin to read, you begin to read, about 5 of them will all know where this is heading. But I believe strongly that the ECOWAS court will throw out this application.
All right. Dr. Zacco.
Thank you. You know, this one I think I should be a soothsayer or something. I should be a soothsayer because it's like I have the power to see things.
You have another theory?
Yeah, I've stated it here again. Every time I stated here categorically that the Chief Justice was a means to an end. The end being the removal of the Electoral Commission officials. I've stated that here. And people can Google and listen. I said that she was in the way. In fact, my theory actually was that the president was not in favor of removing the Chief Justice, but that the hawks within the NDC have won, and that she's moving here just to get to the officials. Today, they CJ, and I also sat here and I said that the CJ said gone. I've said that again, it's on air, that she's gone. That the only reason why she will go back to the office is probably she forgot her purse or her phone charger there. She's going to pick it. No, she's not. I've also said that here. Now, you remember what I said, that probably a force so big probably forced the EC official to buckle and to bend over? This is the force. The force will read the leave line like, oh, this woman is gone. And then we are next. The EC official are like, uh-oh, this woman is gone and we are next. So they now agree that let's play ball, let's bend over, let's flip-flop to save our jobs. Too late. Because that is how it's all coming. Because the woman is basically saying that, going to ECOWAS court to say that, I'm gone, I'm not coming back. The EC officials have seen it like, oh, okay, she's gone, she's not coming back. So let's try to play ball. And that is what I'm saying. Where is the integrity? Where is the fairness? Where are the principles? I've also said that I believe in this woman's fight. I believe we should go to the farthest. In fact, shouldn't just stop there. Should go to the UN. If it is possible, if there's any forum, we should go there. And talking about the UN, you did tell the story that Ghana abstained from voting for the UN Council on gay rights?
In fact, that is not what happened.
No, it's a UN Council.
Again, what happened is that they abstained from extension of the mandate of the independent expert on gender, children, and human rights, not on LGBT. Let's get it with that.
That office was created to protect LGBTQ rights all over the world. That is the purpose of that office. It was created to promote and to protect the interests of LGBTQ community all over the world. I agree with you. It's a special council.
Back to the matter.
If you are a country that you so oppose this, why don't you have the moral courage to stand and vote and raise your hand and say no? Or why don't you say yes? Why abstain? In times of great moral crisis, the deepest places of hell are left for those who remain incompetent, who claim neutrality.
Back to the matter.
Thank you. So my theory or my final end is this: the woman has agreed that she's gone. She knows she's gone. The EC officials are reading the leaflets and they also
Did she tell you that she agreed?
No, I've told you that I'm reading the leaflet. We all see that. I'm just saying that. But
yes,
just as you can.
So she hasn't agreed that she's gone.
No, she's fighting. Well, what she's saying is that her suspending basically means she's not going back. That's what she's literally telling the ECOWAS court.
So that is why she's seeking redress.
Yeah, but I'm saying that I have sat here and have said categorically that she's gone. I've said it. I hope it's not in contempt of the process, is it?
No.
Okay, good. No. So long as it's not, I'm allowed to express. Solomon, nobody wants to go to jail. I don't want to get. Hey, committee says you've done. No. So that's my argument. That's my theory. That this is, and then coming events cast their shadow, and sometimes they can cast very long shadows. So anybody that sits down and say, if the EC can, if the CJ chair can be removed, if the CJ is being removed, then what about us? When you go to the forest and you see the stones burning, you don't stand to ask what happened or what is happening to the trees. Thank you.
Okay, so the stones here being the EC?
A white tree wise.
So that's the third theory.
I'm trying to wrap my mind up. Yeah, it's been a morning of theories and proverbs. But let's come to you, Solomon.
We say for young Kasima, the Okase to a friend is Zato. Or Takasama MPP power in favor of MPP. If you move friends or MPP near Kasa, and also MPP near Nasa. Now, no crown put in some year or see the Chief Justice or Kodada. The suspended Chief Justice, she is a goner. Uncle Supreme Court was also a jume beam. So, because an Akroma officer, ABR, none a purse being away Jan or no Kwakofa. ABR nani chain and jewelry being away Jan or no Kwakofa. The bag beer or the year you may be a son or Kwakofa, a son. But say or call her as a worker to work in the Supreme Court as a Chief Justice NCBM as NCBM because on what the car Canada and other suspended Chief Justice Nankasankasa by and the other peaceful. So would see a mammy Torkorno sem now or say in suspension or who is at the free office. Sometimes you know NPP phone be no Ujomo want to say yanka say Chief Justice ni NPP ni now so no NPP for it make us review a chair cancellation the brofona ankasa ni nim star mo siti ase ini san se ni musi interpretation suspension a chair remover sana CJ ni episode. So imagine say constitution that way not Chief Justice a person just suspension the interpretation just a removal from officer. Imagine say you hear interpretation of the Supreme Court because it's their mandate. Not Chief Justice me interpreted some of the things the constitution in suspension woman just a removal in every office. You see Niema be bro man focus Mami we no now so no so too much. Now so na one no so too much. So right now no it's here the first man, gentleman with the kind of person say court a would do a organ in no consuming we. Okay, so they call a year ECOWAS court to crampono. But Akokra Ghana a high court, Accra High Court, Omundi, Omonfa ruling by, and one resulting by. When Timan train, I said, Drimika the case in the ECOWAS court. Unkwawi ni Pabea. President Benawo City, Diana Wujawo Weji. So, if say one team consume court, I would do my moi, and then I will call another court. And our chair president ABS da Ghana needing nsɛm Come-ECOWAS court a ɔmo bɔ ne nsɛm ne to go yi because ɔmo ni adagye ma saa nneɛma no to ɔno deɛ or the assurance and I said the highest belief say ECOWAS court as you speak no ɔmo nso so no so ɔmo to ne case na to go baby koraa ɔmbra back ɔmbra fie ɛmɛ solve ne case. Say be a woman mu court be you wama who feel say all right so DBB all right but because of be a partisan politics because of be a the full being you know a man for friend all right in your country fine they will step in but not to the extent say court all my no where your money now if be no what disrespected the court. Efebino, you are trying to say you don't trust the court in your country. Now one can say Chief Justice. Court and no my no. One can say Chief Justice because you're ordinary person. You were the Chief Justice. Now would the court name. Sa court sa nema ujano on wunjindi. Now you expect ordinary Ghanaian court in the. I wanna know where the way leader. And like Ghana in the case ECOWAS. So you have to go back and face your court and go yama now removal suspension and removal interpretation bo crackete to crouch much now until say or see set the record straight because enkoba se wunti no na niema constitution my atron no na wunti no asesa na akotene fi because definitely so unya wedwuma back krampa bit ma correctai untina Supreme Court on Chief Justice all the years aka so nye wunti no na ye be set bad president no be a kase on dim from Subia he has the power and the right to suspend you. Subscribe na share man so de nye binti Akroma.